mentioned Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's a good point. But don't forget that Jay-Z cheated on her and she didn't leave. What does that tell you? She didn't leave
because she's just not a cheater.
No. It's because
all that means.
All right, you gotta go, man. You gotta go.
You
gotta go. You're wild.
Damn. Wait, why she gotta go? Why she gotta go? Why she gotta go? She's just being on the podcast. Is he mad because she's talking and he wants her to stop talking?
We give her multiple chances to like just be chill. Let her talk. He talks.
I thought we was doing that though.
Nah, she wasn't.
But we was doing that though.
Listen, there's no argument. She's leaving. If you want to leave, you can leave with her.
I thought we was doing that though. We was having a debate. It should be a friendly debate.
No, she keeps cutting me off, just like you've been earlier.
But it should be a friendly debate. I don't think anybody was cutting anybody
There's
off.
nothing for debate right now. She's getting kicked out. If you want to leave, you can leave with her too.
I mean, I have no choice but to leave with her too. So
okay, then get out.
I'm not gonna get nothing out unless you call the fucking police if you're talking to me like that.
You're gonna get out right now.
You're gonna call the police
if
you're talking to me like that.
You're gonna get out.
You're gonna call the police if you're talking to me like that.
This is my place. You're gonna get the fuck out.
You're gonna call the police if you're talking to me like that.
I'm gonna sip my white claw.
Yeah.
We won't call the cops. You're gonna look stupid getting kicked off on air by the police.
Go ahead, do that.
Can you not do that?
Are these people really being like this because?
All right. Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Washai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Washai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim. They do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled She's Unruly. All right. The inspiration for the show comes from the Fresh and Fit podcast entitled We Kicked Out 2 Ratchet Chicks and This Happened. If I continue the video, you're going to see that the woman goes on to assault the guy. You know, and the black woman, she is just a complete embarrassment, you know, and you got people out there like Kevin Samuels and Tommy Sotomayor. But really before that, the apostles been telling you jakes out there that, look, man, the black woman got a curse on her right now. She's a complete enemy. You know, they like if you look at the women of the other nations, all right, primarily not in a first world country, they're going to be submissive to the men because, look, if all hell was to break loose and there was no 911, these women would not be acting this way. All right, but the liberty that they've given, all right, primarily the black woman, she's the head of it, they've been completely disrespectful, man. You know, all the guy was saying, look, you're cutting me off. This is my podcast. You have all rights to leave, okay? And he has that right. It's his podcast. If you was so offended and shit, go start up your own podcast. But the point being is, man, you know, she escalated shit real quickly, saying you're going to have to call the cops on me if you talk to me like that. And that's how a lot of these niggas are. You know, you got a lot of these men out here that are highly emotional, ready to fight, ready to kill. Why? Because they've been raised by women. See, men are supposed to deal with logic, reason, man. A woman lean upon emotion. So the same way she was getting all rowdy and shit is the same way you see these niggas who are in jail, locked up, and doing all these criminal activities, all right? Behave themselves. Why? Because they don't have that father figure there to guide them with judgment, man. All right? They just acting off pure emotion. Isn't it? Think about this, man. Logically speaking, all right, would you rather get locked up and have a charge, or would you just kindly leave? You know, logically it makes more sense to just leave the situation, right? But the emotional thing to do is to create a scene and swing and do all this type of shit, you know, and that's what these individuals did, man. Now I'm gonna go through some scriptures, man, because the so-called white man, he's a root of all this, man. He's the reason all this bullshit, you know, goes on, man. You know, and if you look at America, there's no real relationships lasting. Why? Because the women are completely unruly, man. You know what I'm saying? The traits that they need for like a long relationship, which is to be submissive and cooperative with their husband, they don't have that. All right, that's how come they go from dick to dick till they're like 50 years old, man. This is what modern feminism, thanks to the so-called white man, has bred, man. Now this is Genesis 3:16. Let's see how the Lord say things should be run. All right, now this is Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the 16th verse. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Right, so this is why women go to childbearing pains, man. All right, because if you look at the animal kingdom, all right, when animals have kids, all right, they just plop them out. There's no screaming and all that shit. But when women go through it, there's no medication they could take, all right, to deviate from that pain, because the Lord put that on them from going off all the way back in the garden. See, when you read the scriptures and the Lord says he's going to do some things as a sign, all right, you can still observe them today. All right, prime example is the rainbow. The rainbow signifies the fact that the Lord said, look, I'm not going to flood the earth anymore. All right, and the same thing with childbearing. All right, only the human female goes through all these pains. Why? Because it goes all the way back to the garden, Eve. All right, Eve was a so-called black woman. Okay, it says, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. See, the desire is supposed to be to your husband, and he's supposed to rule over you. You see, look, the way the Most High has it set up is there's an order. All right, let me get that real quick, because there's an order the Heavenly Father set up. Okay, and if you follow the order, things will be run correctly. Now, people like to get on them people over there in the Middle East, or their women are oppressed and all that, but look how long their relationships last. All right, are they women out of order? Absolutely not. All right, who's more miserable on a statistical basis? The woman over here. So telling women to act like men only makes them depressed, because they can't do what we do. Same thing, we can't do what they do. All right, both men and women are necessary, but they're not equal. All right, just like how food and water is necessary for you to live, but they're not equal. So when you start to mix these roles up, it creates a whole bunch of confusion. All right, which is the so-called white man is pretty much the author of confusion, man. All right. Now this is 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua. Right. So the head of every man, Israelite man, is Yahushua. Okay, he's the head. He's the one that we're supposed to, in other words, the men are the sheep and he's the shepherd. Okay, so we're not supposed to back talk. Whatever the Lord say to do, that's what we're supposed to do. It says, and the head of the woman is the man. See that? So you have Yahushua, you have the man, you have the woman. The woman could, watch over the kids and the children and all that, but they're not supposed to be over the man. This is the confusion that's going on here, man. It says, and the head of Yahushua is the Most High. So you have the Most High, you have Yahushua, you have men, then you have the woman over the men. Now the reason the Most High cursed us and have our women completely out of order, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, primarily the Southern Kingdom, the Negro woman. All right, the reason that happened is because Israel went off to serve other gods, man. All right, and Israel is the Most High's woman, as it is written, I've likened the daughters of Zion unto I've likened Zion to a calmly and delicate woman. So we're the Most High's woman, yet we committed spiritual adultery by worshiping all these other gods. So the Lord said, look, you want to disrespect me and play the harlot and play the whore? I'm going to have your women be whores and harlots. And if you look around in society, man, all these women are pretty much carrying themselves like whores, man. You know what I'm saying? Completely whorish. Look, in the ancient world, women used to pray for kids. Now you have women aborting kids left and right, man. The walking around pretty much naked. This is the society we live in, man, and you could thank the so-called white man for it, man. All right, now I'm gonna read what it says. A strange thing in the land. Because this is completely grievous, man. Salakia. Jeremiah 31:22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? Right? You Israelites are backsliding, man. You only fear the Most High when shit goes awry, man. But then when things are not crazy, all right, that's when you want to submit. Salakia. Right, when things aren't crazy, that's when you want to submit to the Most High. Now, Jeremiah 31:22 says, how long wilt thou go, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. See that? That's a new thing. The scriptures tell you there's no new things under the sun. That's a new thing. Because this is not how things are supposed to be. A woman telling this nigga, you gonna call the cops if you talk to me like that and shit like that. That was not something you seen in the ancient world. Okay, they have a masculine energy on them. All right, They have a masculine spirit in them, a real feminine spirit. All you gotta do is travel over there with them so-called Chinese and Japanese and look at they women, man. All right, one, they not fat, okay, and two, they listen to their man. All right, so how can this frail ass gooks? How can these frail ass so-called Chinese and Japanese little dick motherfuckers, all right, have rule over they women? But here it is, you a big black man and you can't have your woman in order. Why? Because it's a curse from the Most High, man. Okay. Now I know we have sisters out there that listen. All right, and to the sisters that listen, look, man. If the shoe doesn't fit, it's not your shoe. All right. But to the ones that it do fit, all right, you have to get yourself in line with the Most High, man. All right. And really your husband, because at the end of the day, a woman don't even got to serve the Most High. Her whole duty is to serve her husband. That's your Lord. Hold on, let me get that, man. Abraham, Slakia. There's a scripture says that Sarah, right now this is First Peter 3:6. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. See, Sarah, which was a black woman, a very beautiful so-called black woman, she was at the age of 90 and still turning necks. Okay, because back then in the ancient times, you black women had your beauty before the curses that we read about in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, which I'm going to go ahead and read them. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Right, so the point being is, Sarah called Abraham Lord. Now, how many of you Negroes out there could say your woman sincerely calling you Lord, all right? Especially the black woman. She's calling you all types of names and giving you all types of hell, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of so-called black women, all right, that are humble and not even of the tribe of Judah. They might be of a different tribe, but like look so-called like a Negro, man. Because you have, Issacharites out there that could look like a full-blown black woman, man. Because the spirit that's on her is completely off. She's completely out of order, man. Even people that's not in the truth are starting to say it, man. I'm starting to realize it. But we've been saying for years. So we tell you, brothers, and the apostles been saying it for years, just forget about the black woman at this point, man. You don't even need her to bring back the tribes, okay? Because you are what your father is. You don't need no woman to bring back the tribes. Whatever your daddy is, that's the tribe you are, man. But you got these Captain Save-A-Hole niggas out there, man, that will take a bullet for this woman, all right? That's walking around fucking everything on the block, man. Now, excuse my language, brothers, but look, man, this shit is frustrating at times. We understand perfectly well what's going on. The Mosai said these things would come to pass, all right? But it's just a complete embarrassment, man. And other nations all looking at you like you're a bunch of fools, man. Now, Isaiah 3:16 says, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Right now, the daughters of Zion, all right, are the southern kingdom, because the kingdoms were split into two. You had the Jerusalem and you had Judah. All right, you had Israel and you had Judah. Now, Israel was the northern tribes, from Ephraim all the way down to Issachar, the so-called Puerto Rican down to the Mexican. All right, and you had the southern kingdom, which consists of the Negroes, the West Indians, and the Haitians, or Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Because this curse really goes on to them, the southern kingdom. Because if you look at the Latin woman, the Latin tribes, they still have their hair. They might be cursed in other ways, they might be shaped all funny and shit. And, Issacharite women will kind of look like eggs and all that. But they still have their hair. Because a woman's glory is her hair. And that's in the scriptures. But the Mosai took away their glory. That's how come they bald-headed, man. You have the so-called white woman out there calling herself a Jewish person. They shaved their head off trying to fulfill this prophecy. The nigga woman, she don't got to do all that, man. Her hair is just naturally short. And they have hard times trying to grow it. Because it's a curse from the Most High, man. It's Isaiah 3:16. I'm going to read it. It says, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, right? They were proud, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, meaning they're undisciplined, man. They walking with their man, but they looking at the next nigga. They have undisciplined eyes. It says, walking and midst as they go. Now, If you brothers ever been like in a college situation, you know, you sleeping at night and all you hearing is heels and shit clicking and clacking and all this type of shit. I mean, these women are out there looking for dick and being, you know, I'm talking about 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, you know, walking and mincing as they go, making a tinkling with their feet, right? So they had the anklets on. Man, I tell you, back in the ancient world, the nigga woman was the baddest thing on the planet. You know what I'm saying? She was the baddest woman on the planet. And look what the Most High did to them, man. They fat, all right, huge. What is it like? It says 8 out of 10 of them is overweight, and of that 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 is obese. All right, fake hair, fake lashes. Still proud though. So that shows you that them curses, it hit, but that spirit, that proud spirit, is still in them. It says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head. The Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Meaning he's going to take their hair away. Because a nigga woman had hair down to her ankles, man. Now somebody might say, how can black women have straight hair? Well, look at a horse. Doesn't a horse have straight hair? All right, the Most High can make anything have straight hair. The Most High can have it be kinky and long. The point is, they had very long hair, not dreads either, man. You know? And look, man, when I say long hair, I'm talking about down to the feet. That's how long their hair were, man. Naturally, there was no shit, products out there, none of that stuff, man. All right, it just naturally was able to grow that long. You know, it says, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Now, their secret parts, you know, they're private. A woman walk around, it's pretty much half naked, man. You brothers, I don't know if you work out, but you work out, they going in there, leggings, see-through leggings, you can see everything, man. There's in the angel world, they will cover themselves up. Now everything is on display. Instagram, OnlyFans. Really, this thing's supposed to be a shameful thing. It was supposed to be a shameful thing for a woman to be uncovered, but in this society, it's a complete opposite. They embrace pretty much showing everything, man. You know, it says, because when you watch the video, you know, just look at those women, man. Look at those women. Those women look like somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with as a man? Come on, man. You know, it says, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets, the bonnets. Hey, well, they still rocking them bonnets hard. It says the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel and mantles and the wimples and the crispin pins, the glass and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, wait a minute. It says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. You know? What's that talking about? The nigga woman, her snatch smells bad, bro. All that seafood they be eating, the shrimp, lobster, pork, all that shit, man. They having out there stinking, man. You know? And women in this society, they take showers, man, so they don't really get to clean up their insides, man. You see, a woman's supposed to soak in oils and different stuff, man, to be smelling sweet. But in this shit, they stand up, they wash their body, and the inside is still just gonna be funky, man. You know? And what proves that is these other nations, they do bath bombs, man. You go to a Fairway or Trader's Joe's or Whole Foods, with pretty much where the other nations be at, they women are buying things called bath bombs, man. You know? Ask a nigga woman what's a bath bomb. She, what's bath bomb? Something about to blow up, you know? They don't know what the hell that's, because why? Because the curses, man. The curses. It says, and instead of a girdle, a rent. Now, if you ever had a girdle or like a waist trainer, it keeps your waist proportionally slim. But instead of that girdle, it says a rent. What does that mean? They're going to be fat and sloppy, man. And that's what the most of them are. You know, and this is just the truth of the matter. You know, this show I know is probably going to get flagged or whatever, but this is just the truth and reality of what's going on, man. It said, and instead of a well-set hair, baldness. Let me read that again. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. Who on the planet, Tell me right now, man, which other woman on the planet Earth is bald, man? It's a nigga woman. This is the curses of the Most High. Okay, why can a black man grow his hair longer than a black woman? You should ask yourself that. Why? Because it's the curses of the Most High. It says, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. They ugly, man. The Lord is telling you that he's doing these things, man. Okay? The Lord cursed the hell out of our woman, and they're so proud that they can't even acknowledge it. You know, they still proud. They still embracing. You have this woman out there called Lizzo, all right, which is about a huge nigga woman. She's embracing being completely overweight, you know, fake everything. Pretty much embracing the curses, man. This is the society we live in, man. And if you, as a man, try to say something, forget about it. Because they have made men beta males, man. This the so-called white man, and the way he's run things is completely grievous, man. You know? But eventually, when all hell breaks loose out here, okay, in America, all that proud spirit is gonna be thrown the fuck out the window, man. You know? It's gonna be thrown out the window because the reason they act the way they act is because they could call 911 for protection. But you see, when you walk out the streets and it's gonna look like jail, prison, where people are getting raped, killed, and murdered, all that feminist, all that strong woman, all that kind of, that shit is gonna get thrown the hell out the window, man. See, when it's time for survival, people go to their gender roles and order is established, man. Prime example is look at over there in the Middle East, man. Look over there in the other nations. Now, this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. Why is that? Because they're going to try to survive, man. All right? They're not going to want to be on no goddamn dating apps, speed dating 6 niggas a week. They're not going to be able to do that, man. They're not going to have that luxury and option and all that. They're going to find a man, all right? They're not going to care what he looks like. They just want survival, man. Again, the prime example of that is the prison system. When people get locked up, they click up with their race. They doing anything to survive. They throw their pride out the window. So when the Most High brings that hell here in America, okay, things are gonna be. You're gonna see people going back to the way how things are supposed to be. All right, and the men of the Lord are gonna be yearned after, man. So you brothers out there that you might have not really been able to get much woman or whatever like that. When all hell breaks loose, you're gonna be kicking them off you, man. Because they're going to see the spiritual power the Lord's going to give you and all that. There ain't going to be no backsass for nothing. Now, this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaks loose, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. Now, that word for 7. 7 just means completion, man. It could be 7. It could be 7D, you know? It says, shall take hold of 1 man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. Right, so they're gonna want your name, all right, as a hedge, okay? Cause think about it, man. If it was completely lawless out here, all right, and people were able to do whatever they want, you know, killing in the street, raping in the street, you think a woman is gonna try to take on a man one-on-one? Hell no, man. See, that's how come it's set up that she was supposed to be under her father, and her father was supposed to train her, all right, to be ready for her husband. Okay, and then she stays with that man for the rest of her life. That's how things are supposed to be. It shouldn't be no try it out. You know? Oh, experiment and shit. You gotta date mad guys. This is the advice that women are giving other women. And look what it's breeding, man. Complete anarchy, man. Complete madness. No structure. It says, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name and take away our reproach. So if we read Isaiah the 3rd chapter and you read all throughout these scriptures, every prophecy that the Most High says is going to come to pass, comes to pass. This one is no different. All right? Whether you women out there like it or not. Okay? And guess what? At the end of the day, a woman might say, I can't do this, I can't. Yeah, y'all going to be able to do it, man. Because if you on a dating app and you, or you going to speed dating, if you meet that nigga, guess what? He's talking to a whole bunch of women. All right? Now, how much more so to survive? Okay? These things are, man, the Most High is going to make things deadly serious, man. Deadly serious out here. Now I'm gonna get Micah. She that is my enemy. Yeah, Micah 7 and 10. Now the things that I'm talking about, all right, you might have a lot of naysayers. Again, I'm only speaking to the woman that this pertains to. All right, you sisters out there that are listening, all right, you're not offended. You know, well, the Most High already knows who those are. Now this is Micah 7 and 10. It says, then she that is my enemy shall see it. Right, because your woman right now is your enemy on this side, man. All right, she's supposed to be your ally. You know, the Israelite woman is supposed to be your ally, but primarily she's coming against the Israelite man, giving them more hell than anything. She's joined hand in hand with Esau. All right, as it is written in the book of Proverbs, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Because the so-called black woman, she's in the colleges, she's running all types of major corporations and shit. All right, the so-called white man has elevated her way above the so-called black man, and that's done by design. Because when you read the Willie Lynch letter, all right, he was telling you how to pretty much keep these slaves in subjection. You know, put blacks, the darker skinned Jakes against the light skinned Jakes, keep certain Jakes in the house, some in the field. All right, and the primary things he said was put the woman above the man, and that's Willie Lynch, an Edomite. All right, he was given you can read it online, the Willie Lynch letter. He goes all into it, how to pretty much keep Jake in this fucked up state of mind. And the same letter that he wrote is the same way, all right, you niggas are governing yourself today, man. That's how come you're in the state you in, man. Really, it's the Most High, but I'm just saying the Most High used the so-called white man, all right, as an instrument to fulfill that prophecy. It says Micah 7 and 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Lord? Yeah, so you got women out there, man, you niggas are full of shit. You've been saying this thing for years. Well, guess what? During the time of Noah was out there for over 100 years telling people it was going to rain. All right, and they didn't believe him till that rain was up to their ass and they couldn't, you know, they was drowned. So it's the same thing now. We telling you it's going to rain missiles here in America, but they can't see that. They think they're going to live here forever and establish all these types of things. But when these things come to pass, all right, all our enemies are going to be like, holy shit. It says, shame shall cover her which said unto me. So, yeah, nigga, I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I'm going to do what I want to do. You niggas get to fuck all these women. I'm going to get to fuck all these men. I'm going to do all these things. All that shit is going to be a shameful thing when the Lord has these things come to pass, man. It says, with the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that power. It says, Salakia. It says, shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, right? Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. You know what the mire of the streets is? It's dog shit. You know, when you're walking about the day, you know, you might see some dog shit on the ground. You don't pay no mind. You keep pushing. So all these women out here that's talking about I'm a OnlyFans queen and shit like that, and I'm a queen and I'm a goddess. When all hell breaks loose and you on the floor and people giving for survival, nobody gonna be giving two fucks about you. They're gonna walk right over you. You know? Unless you're willing to cook, clean, and serve that man and be some sort of asset to that individual. All that proud, I don't need no man shit, that's just gonna be going out the window. And if you're not willing to get with the program, the nigga's just gonna move right on. You know? A prime example of that is just watching the movie The Road. You know, where they had a post-apocalyptic scenario. That was a beautiful example of what it's going to be like out here soon in America, man. And the Most High is going to put the proud and that haughty spirit, all right, to the earth, all right, in a state of humility. All right, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.